Thanks for dropping by. As always, I'm your host, Bronze Dragon. Today, we're going to tackle one of the single most asked questions by new players in Atlas Earth. Why is my rent boost going down? So you're a player in the United States. You buy that 151st parcel, and suddenly, a few minutes later, when you go to boost, you notice that your boost rate went from 30 times to 20 times. It feels like a penalty for progressing, but there is a good mathematical and economic reason behind it. Today, we're going to break down the official ad boost tables, explain why your location on the Earth makes a difference in your earnings, and look at the math behind the drop-off. If that sounds interesting to you, please stand by. First, we have to understand where the money comes from. Atlas Earth pays out real-world currency, which means that the game has to not only be sustainable, it has to be profitable for Atlas Reality. The rent you earn is supported by the revenue that Atlas Reality receives from advertisers when you watch a 30-second clip of an ad, download a game in the arcade, book travel, do a survey, and several other things. This is why the boost exists. The reason the boost rate goes down as you get more parcels is simple: sustainability. As your land holdings grow, the amount of base rent you earn increases. If a player with 10,000 parcels had a 30 times multiplier boost, the platform would likely go bankrupt. The boost tiers are designed to keep the game's economy balanced while still giving smaller players a massive leg up to help them grow. The charts are a survival mechanic for the game itself. The values and tiers in this chart are just to illustrate the point and not exact figures. Okay, so let's take a look at the charts. These charts can be found on the Atlas Earth support website, as well as I will leave a link in the show information below so you can check them out if you are unaware of them. So if you're playing in the United States, you have the most aggressive boost table. From 1 to 150 parcels, you sit at that golden tier of 30 times. Notice the cliff though at 151. This is where most players get stuck. If you buy parcel 151 without a plan, your total earnings per second actually decrease. This is why the community talks about tier jumping, the strategy of saving up enough Atlas bucks to jump from the top of one tier to the top of the next one, or at very least the break-even point, so your total rent stays higher than where you started. Now, this is where it gets interesting and sometimes frustrating for our international viewers. If you look at the charts for Canada, Australia, the UK, the numbers look very different. For example, in Canada or the UK, the 20 times multiplier boost is their highest boost and ends immediately after 60 parcels. Why the difference? Well, it's all about CPM, or cost per mile. This is the rate advertisers pay to show ads in specific countries. Advertisers currently pay significantly more for US-based viewers than they do in many other regions. Because the ad revenue coming in from a UK player might be lower than that of a US player, the boost tiers have to be adjusted to ensure the game remains solvent in those regions. In previous videos, I've talked about the term tier jumping, or saving up enough Atlas bucks to jump from the top of one tier to the top of the next tier, or at very least to the break-even point so you don't lose rent. If you do the math, the difference saved by actually tier jumping is much more significant early on. Jumping from 150 to 220 parcels in the US preserves your income. But as the number of parcels increases as you play along, some players choose to stop tier jumping and just start accumulating. Why? And that's because of the super rent boost. This is where the real money is made for big landholders. Twice a month, the standard boost, whether you're at 2 times or 30 times multiplier, is replaced by a massive 50 times multiplier for everyone as long as you are actively boosted. If you have 2,000 parcels, that 50 times event hits like a freight train. For the whales, the SRB is the primary engine of profit. However, there's a catch. Relying on the SRB means you are betting on the health of the game. Because the SRB is such a massive driver of income, it's also our quote-unquote canary in the coal mine. If we ever see Atlas Reality cut the SRB from 50 times to 30 times or reduce the frequency of these events, take note. That would be a signal that the ad revenue we looked at for the eCPM chart isn't enough to sustain the payouts. A cut in SRB is definitely a signal that the future of the game could be in jeopardy. The system is confusing, especially from a new user's point of view, but it's actually the thing that ensures that Atlas Earth has the business chance of still being around years from now, and we can continue playing and having fun with it. As always, this is not investment advice. I am not an investment advisor. I'm just a gamer, and that's from my perspective. It's a math problem, not a punishment. That's the basics of it. So this has been Bronze Dragon. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy. The link to the full charts can be found in my show notes. And any charts and slides I used in this video were not exact numbers. They were just to get my point across. See you in the next one.